From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, federal government extends resumption of Abuja-Kaduna rail services indefinitely. Troops of Operation Forest kill 4 bandits, recover cache of weapons during clearance operations in Kaduna State. Ademola Adeleke sworn in as Osun State Governor, freezes all government accounts and fires Oyetola's appointees. And Uganda extends quarantine in Ebola epicenter for 21 days as government restricts movement. Hello and warm welcome. I'm Zainab Bala. The federal government says train services will not resume on the Abuja-Kaduna route on Monday as earlier projected. Minister of Transportation Muazu Sambo disclosed this to newsmen in Kaduna on Sunday during an inspection tour to access the state of readiness of Abuja-Kaduna rail services before the commencement of operations. He also announced the introduction of some security measures and precautionary guidelines, such as the use of national identity number for passenger profiling, which is now compulsory. Dashan Hussaina Usman has more.
There is no specific date for the resumption, though the Minister of Transportation is hinting that it may not be more than a week. It is therefore no surprise that plans are at an advanced stage in anticipation of the resumption of the rebranded Abuja-Kaduna bound train services. The minister led an inspection tour from Idu, Abuja to Rigasa, Kaduna on Sunday amidst heavy security to assess some of the security measures put in place. For obvious reasons, the Minister of Transportation is keeping some of the security strategies close to his chest.
That has been put in place, but we are not going to tell you what we have done. It is a security matter, and I have no apologies for that.
But he does let the public in on some of the plans, such as the identity verification devices, which have been already deployed at each Nigerian Railway Corporation train station to confirm the validity of each passenger ticket and identity before they can get access to departure lounges.
We have introduced a new system before you buy a ticket. Your purchase of a ticket requires you to provide a phone number and a national identification number in order to profile, because that is the beginning of the security checks. So at any point in time when a train moves from one station to another, we know who and who are on board. If you don't have an NIN, you are not going to board our train. It's as simple as that. If you are a minor, an adult will pay for you, will register for you. And an adult can only register for not more than 4 minors. Now, we want to give sufficient time for the Nigerian public to listen to this, to to assimilate this new system. So if you start tomorrow, a lot of people will be disgruntled.
The minister, flanked by the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, and Minister of State for Transportation, Ademola Adegoroye, assures Nigerians that protection of lives and property of passengers is paramount.
I will tell you that whatever is humanly possible to secure the lives of the users of this service have been put in place. And we will continue to upgrade it. We'll be monitoring it on a daily basis and improve on wherever we find some snags.
Recall that on March 28th, the Abuja-Kaduna bound train was attacked by bandits where some passengers were killed and kidnapped. Darshan Hussaina Usman.
Well, there you go. Now, troops of Operation Forest Sanity neutralized 4 bandits in their identified hideouts around Ohonga and Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. The troops were said to have made contact and pursued the fleeing bandits, and the 2 bandits were neutralized during the engagement. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, disclosed this in a statement issued on Sunday. He said while credible human intelligence sources revealed that 2 others died from gunshot wounds, Arwan said credible sources in the general area reported that 2 of the 4 neutralized have been identified as Dogo Malam and Bello Malam. He said the troops recovered one AK-47 rifle, one magazine with 22 rounds of ammunition, and one motorcycle. Governor Nasser El-Rufai expressed satisfaction at the report and praised the troops for their resilience and courage in the latest success. The Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, has urged the leadership of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria to help the federal government tackle insecurity in the country. Speaking during the inauguration of the new MACBAN leadership in Abuja on Sunday, Abubakar, who is also the President General of the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, noted that some of the Fulani cattle breeders are peaceful people. He, however, wondered why some of their children suddenly turned into banditry and kidnapping, a situation he wants the new MACBAN executives to address urgently. While stating that the threat to divide the country is because of certain things Nigerians are not doing right, the NSCIA boss urged the association to look critically into the matter. Moving on, the Emir of Birnin-Gwari in Kaduna, northwest Nigeria, says military action alone will not end banditry and terrorism. The Emir is underscoring the importance of deploying non-kinetic measures to end the killings. Now, the traditional leader who has survived bandit attack is alleging that one of the main factors fueling insecurity, especially along gold deposit belt of the northern region, is a well-concocted international conspiracy. He spoke to Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman, and this report will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. The new governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke, was on Sunday sworn in by the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Adekbele Ojo. The inauguration, which was held at the Osogbo City Stadium, was attended by members and leaders of the People's Democratic Party and other dignitaries. Hamid Oyegbade has more.
The Osogbo City Stadium was filled to capacity as people of Osun State and guests attended the inauguration of Ademola Adeleke as the 6th executive governor of the state. The Independent National Electoral Commission declared Adeleke as winner of the July 16 governorship election in the state. He succeeds Adegboyega Oyetola, who came second in the election. Adeleke and his deputy, Kola Adewusi, were sworn in by the Chief Judge of the state, Adekbele Ojo. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the state, Amos Kayode Oguntunde, and chairman of the Osun State Muslim community, Mustapha Adeleke Olawuyi, charged the new governor to put people first.
We thank God for bringing to us a new governor at this time, in person of Senator Demola Jackson Adeleke. Our advice to him is that he should lead the people in fear of God and have the love of the state of Osun at heart.
There is continuity in governance. Therefore, today's event is another milestone in Osun State. We pray God to make it a success for us. We don't have any doubt in the incoming governor that will do well for the state. We don't have any doubt that is going to make correction of many mistakes that have been made in the past.
Governor Adeleke's spokesperson, Rashid Olawale, assured the people that the new governor will deliver on his promises to the people.
It's the dawn of a new era. The year of locusts has ended, and a new era of prosperity, collective wealth creation, job, good governance, accountability, and responsive leadership has started in Osun.
Some of the guests, Philip Omadeni and Precious Omoriege, said the event portends new beginning to the people of the state.
Advice for them is to be expectant. They have to be expectant, and I believe God that He will assist us in every ramification.
Meanwhile, the newly inaugurated governor of Osun State, Adeleke, has frozen all government accounts. Adeleke directed this in his first executive order upon inauguration on Sunday. Adeleke, in his speech delivered at the inauguration, alleged that the erstwhile governor, Adegboyega Oyetola, carried out some actions after the July 16 governorship election, including hurried employment without provision to sustain them. He claimed that these actions were roadblock channel at making things difficult for his administration. Adeleke also reversed the state name from State of Osun to Osun State, saying the former was alien to the constitution. Adeleke also said he will correct injustices of the past administration. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
Well, there you go. Now, the PDP Governors Forum, under the leadership of Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, has congratulated Senator Ademola Adeleke on his inauguration as Governor of Osun State on 27th November 2022. The forum, in a statement on Sunday, noted that Adeleke's July 2022 victory at the polls was a testimony to the gallant efforts, hard work, teamwork, skillful campaigns, efficient resource allocation, openness and humility exhibited by His Excellency over the years. The forum reiterated that it celebrates with Adeleke's family and the people of Osun State who have entrusted leadership to the lawmaker, even as they welcome him into the PDP Governors Forum. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki on Sunday said the swearing-in of Senator Ademola Adeleke as the Osun State Governor will usher in a new era of growth and transformation in the state. Governor Obaseki joined People's Democratic Party presidential candidate in the 2023 general elections, Atiku Abubakar, Delta State Governor and PDP Vice Presidential candidate Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, and other dignitaries in Osogbo for the swearing-in of Adeleke. He expressed confidence that Adeleke will deliver on the task of transforming Osun into a leading state in human and economic development in Nigeria. Governor Adeleke, in his inaugural address, thanked the founding fathers of Osun State, past and present, leaders of the state for setting the state on the path of progress, noting that the mantle of leadership on his shoulders will be well utilized for growth and development. Ahead of the March 11, 2023 governorship election in Abia State, the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate Alex Otti has pledged to tackle insecurity plaguing the state. Otti, who addressed business leaders in Aba on Saturday, decried the high number of unemployed Abia indigents, putting the figure at 51%. He noted that when the people were not doing anything, social vices including armed robbery are likely to be on the rise. The Labour Party governorship candidate also promised to look into the state of the Port Harcourt-Aba Expressway to ameliorate the hardships commuters face while plying the road. He also weighed into the demolition of some shops in Aba by the state government, regretting why the traders will not be compensated. Now, as political campaigns gather momentum ahead of the 2023 polls, smaller parties are strategizing on how to shift attention from the big players. One of such strategies is the drive to ensure that their manifestos, which they believe will address key sectors of the nation's economy, get to the voters. Salis Labo now reports.
In order to respond to the needs of young people and to guarantee their space in the political arena, most youths seem to have gained more political enlightenment and appear to be ready to right the wrongs which have hitherto to limited their political stakes. Since the advent of democracy, we have been supportive to them. We want them this time around to give us opportunity and see what we can do. Stakeholders said meaningful youth participation in politics is key to realigning the political system. Our candidate has the capacity, experience, exposure, and the youthful energy to translate our hopes and aspiration into reality. We want you to give us the necessary support. We assure you that we can do the best. This young candidate is assuring that he will channel his experience toward ensuring the revival of his constituency, which, according to him, suffered serial disappointment. He said he is in the race to correct the wrongs of the past.
And clearly, it shows that our friends in Jadaganya and Tongo this time around have given it to us to also steer the wheel and demonstrate our capabilities. And it has also giving me hope that whatever that has been lost, perhaps in the 24 years can be regained. Maybe in the next 4 years that will be given a chance. So this is a clear sign of victory.
They believe young people, if elected to power, will ensure that businesses are safe and also guarantee growth through a secure environment with the provision of infrastructure and better economic policies. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
The Nigeria Police Force has arrested 2 offenders in possession of 468 permanent voters' cards. This was made known in a statement signed by the National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee (INEC), Festus Okoye, on Sunday. According to the statement, one of the offenders was found with 101 PVCs in Sokoto State, and another was caught with 367 PVCs in Kano. Okoye stated that their offence is in contravention of sections 117 and 145 of the Electoral Act 2022. The statement added that the offenders are currently receiving their due punishment, while the Commission reiterates its commitment to continue to pursue all violators of the Electoral Act and ensure their diligent prosecution. Elsewhere, the Ogun State Command of the Nigeria Immigration Service has intercepted 33 illegal migrants from 2 locations in Odeda local government area of the state. Parading these suspects at the command's office along the Presidential Boulevard in the state capital, the State Controller of Immigration, Yakubu Jibril, said the suspects are without valid travel documents and no means of livelihood, while asking members of the public to be more vigilant, especially in face of the current security situation in the country. He, however, promised that the suspects are to be repatriated back into the countries of origin after due consultations with their countries. 32 of the suspects are Chadians, while 1 is a Togolese. Communities of Ilela and Kobi in Bauchi have appealed to the state and federal government to site health facilities in the area to cater for the health needs of the communities. One of the community members, Malam Ibrahim, stated this during Koilela Community Development Medical Outreach. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report. You are still watching News Hour on Trust TV.
Older people, youths and others from the 2 communities of Ilela and Kobi in Bauchi State came out to take advantage of the free medical services courtesy of Koila Community Development Forum. Malam Ibrahim says the state government should embrace such health program to reach out to the less privileged with health issues in various communities. Beneficiaries thank the organizers for reaching out the people irrespective of their status in the community.
If you see the response of the people in the community, so actually it is indicating that there is a problem in our health system. So what I will appeal is to appeal to other communities like our own Ilela to borrow a lift from what we have done today so that they can replicate in their various communities.
Health is wealth. Though health is wealth, once you are healthy, you have everything. So we thank. Today we are giving free medical services in our doorsteps, and we appreciate them immensely. This is an effort towards helping the less privileged. Even the sick privileged people can come and enjoy the services. So we thank God. Meanwhile, leader of the medical outreach, Kabir Audi, said the outreach was to reduce cases of self-medication in the areas, adding that such self-help usually led to complications where there is no diagnosis.
Most importantly, looking at the WHO recommendation that each and every person, most especially those that are beyond 45 years of age, they should visit hospital at least once in a year to monitor some of their important organs like the kidney, the liver, the heart. That is hypertension, check your sugar, check your kidney status.
According to them, the medical outreach exercise is part of the effort by the people of the area to encourage community development. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
You're still watching news on Trust Television. Coming up, commuters lament deplorable condition of roads as a result of aftermath of 2022 floods. Details of this story and more after the break. To stay.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. My name is Femi Adebayo. This holiday season, StarTimes is taking us to a better level. You can step up your family entertainment with the StarTimes upgrade promo. You recharge 2 months on Nova Bouquet and get upgraded to Basic or Smart Bouquet. Recharge 2 months on Basic or Smart Bouquet, you get upgraded to Classic or Super Bouquet. And if you recharge 2 months on Classic or Super Bouquet, you get 10 days free on your subscription. This upgrade automatically qualifies you for a weekly draw to win 55-inch Smart TV, PA systems, home appliances, and more. These prizes are proudly sponsored by Longreach, Wayon, and Amaz. This promo is from the 15th November to 15th January 2023. Times and conditions apply. On StarTimes, every day is the best day ever. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. StarTimes. Entertain your family.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is news on Trust Television. Here are our top stories. Federal government extends resumption of Abuja-Kaduna rail services indefinitely. Troops of Operation Forest kill 4 bandits, recover cache of weapons during clearance operations in Kaduna State. Moving on, farmers and traders in Jos, the Plateau State capital, say getting credit to boost their farming activities and businesses has not been easy. They said several efforts to that effect, even through cooperatives, have proved abortive and expressed hope that the situation would change to enable their businesses get a boost. Ado Musa completes the story.
The primary purpose of a cooperative is to help members grow, especially in getting access to loans within or outside the cooperative. In the area of farming, the cooperative also helps to prevent members from being exploited in terms of accessing farm inputs for their farming activities. However, some members of the cooperative say the aim of organizing such an association is not serving the purpose for which it has created. Aliu Musa, a farmer and member of Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, RIFAM, said he had applied severally to get credit through his cooperative but couldn't get it, saying He had followed all processes to access the loan but failed. We have not been getting loans from or through our cooperative. We would always be asked to fill forms and submit. I've applied to get a loan with RIFAM on several occasions, but I wasn't given the money. We were asked to open an account with the Bank of Agriculture as a criteria for accessing a loan, but at the end, nothing was sent to the account for yes. We were also asked to fill another form with the central bank and nothing was given. Apart from this, we filled lots of forms and nothing was done to access the money. We are tired. Sani Agege, a trader in Kaswandere market, said, in their market, some traders get the loan through cooperatives while some get through the banks. He said, getting such loans is always difficult due to the difficulties in the process, adding that some of them prefer to access it from dealers in the market.
We have a kind of contact with all banks, like Sterling Bank. Not for a long time, Sterling Bank came to us that they wanted to give our members loan, and they gave us criteria, and we are the ones to stand for them.
On whether they collect kickbacks before accessing the credit on behalf of their members, the chairman has this to say.
Some of our members, if giving that loan to them, we may face some problems with them. There are ones that will not face problems with them. So definitely we stood on the ones that will not face problems with them, and the bank gave them the loan, definitely, and they have returned the loan to the bank.
Ibrahim Abdullahi, a farmer and secretary of Abba Nashewu Cooperative, said their cooperative is also accessing loans on behalf of its members, but not without difficulties.
Farming, sometimes they have been having problem. Maybe if there is problem of flooding or something or disaster, that they may, affect the crops or something. So with that, normally the farmers having some issues and that tend to, give them some issues to at least refund the loan.
Officials of the cooperatives and the traders union said one factor that prevents them from accessing loans on behalf of their members is non-reliability of members who might disappoint them during repayment. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The Ministry of Mines and Steel Development says the Kano Gold Souk and other regional projects being executed by the ministry will become operational by 2023. The Minister Olamilekan Ademite, who stated this in Abuja, said the souk would make the country to become a world destination for gold. He said the government had trained people who will make pieces of jewelry, adding that they would be residents in that gold souk. He said gold from Kano is being taken out of Nigeria, places like Dubai and others where they turn them into pieces of jewelry. Emir of Zazzau, Malang Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, has declared a state of emergency on education in Zazzau Emirate to enhance academic learning in the area. He made the declaration at the public presentation of 4 books and celebration of excellence of former DG NTI Aminuladen Sharihu as Professor of Public Administration held in Zaria. The report.
He said the action followed the backwardness in education within the emirate in the recent years. The monarch, who applauded the effort of both federal and state government in providing infrastructural development to the education sector, urged sons of the emirate to complement the effort.
Rise to the highest level in the scheme of things in this country. And we can proudly say that the people of this emirate, have risen to the highest position in the country, because from Zaria we had Secretary to the Government of the Federation, we had a Vice President from Zaria, we have multiple number of ministers, strategic ministers, we had governors, we had everything.
While reviewing the book titled A Legacy of Excellence, Hafsat Lawal Kontagora, Director Academic Services NTI Kaduna said the book contains practical theories of education, leadership, and governance. She added that it also showcases some rudiments of governance that affects leadership and some recorded achievement by past administration.
To speak to our people because they have spoken so well, the earlier speakers. I don't have to repeat what they've said, but I think it is an avenue for me to take this liberty and tell all of us the situation we're in today, in areas of education, in areas of security, and in areas of well-being of our people, and what we should expect in the near future if we don't wake up from slumber.
In his remarks, the former Director General, National Teachers Institute, NTI Kaduna, and the celebrant, Professor Aminul Adan Sharehu, stressed the need for functional education among the upcoming generation to suit the global challenges on education. Sharehu said the journey to the professorial position has not been easy, urging the academia to brace up and come up with lasting solution to leadership deficit in the country. Emir of Bukuyum from Zamfara State was among those that graced the occasion. From Zaria, Abubakar Sadiq Muhammad, Trust TV News.
The Ahmadu Bello University chapter of Academic Staff Union of Universities staged a protest over 7 months withheld salaries for its members and threatened to abandon the backlog of academic activities.
During the protest,
at the Kontagora Square of Samaru campus of the university and ended at the premises. The report.
Protests, several members of the union carried placards with inscriptions such as "Respect the principle of collective bargain," "We say no to casualization of intellectual labor," and "ASU is a protector of public institutions," among others. Speaking to newsmen shortly after the rally, Dr. Hussaini Abdullahi, the branch secretary of the union, said the protest was to express displeasure on the decision of the government to pay union October salary on a pro rata basis.
Well-informed, all well-meaning Nigeria here in Nigeria and those in diaspora, the unfair treatment we receive from government, despite the goodwill that we have demonstrated by suspending the strike based on the court ruling and the intervention of the Speaker House of Representatives and other well-meaning Nigerians. So we expect that government should also respect and do its own part of obligation.
He said the union do not know why the government took such a decision, stressing that the decision violates rules of engagement for academics. While responding to the cancellation of the session as suggested by some members during the special meeting, the secretary said the suggestion will also be part of their submission to the NEC for deliberation.
Well, today we have convened a special Congress meeting and the rally, and then the Congress resolved that yes, we have suspended the strike, but we are going to communicate to National for them to consider.
He added that the condition of service for the academic staff differs from the mainstream civil service, stressing that academic staff were employed to teach, conduct research, and community services. He said the union just stopped the teaching component during the strike, but to the dismay of the lecturers, we are not paid on the pro rata basis. He therefore described the pro rata salary as a crash mischief by the government and its agent toward cajoling the union to reconsider its stand. From Zaria, Abubakar Sadiq Muhammad, Trust TV News.
Kogi State Government has approved 65 years as the new retirement age for teachers in public primary and secondary schools in the state. The Kogi State Information Commissioner Kingsley Fawu said the approval was approved at the weekly Executive Council meeting. This is at variance with the 60 years retirement age for all civil servants at all levels in the country. The Commissioner explained that the domestication of the 65-year retirement age has put the state teachers at par with their counterparts at the federal level. He added that the Executive Council also approved the transmission of a bill for a law to amend the Kogi State Utility Infrastructure Management and Compliance Agency to create an enabling environment where the required law for the government to impact more on the lives of the people. Commuters plying federal, state and some local government roads in Adamawa have lamented the deteriorating nature of the roads. They are therefore calling on the government to hasten the maintenance, rehabilitation and reconstruction of the roads affected by the 2022 flooding to ameliorate the plight of users. Silas Lowell has more.
The rainy season, which ended recently, was relentless in the damages it caused to roads across the country. Currently, many federal, state and local government roads have become a death trap to commuters. This is Jamaica Mubi Bypass Road. It is among several others affected by the floods. Commuters plying the road said urgent intervention will go a long way toward alleviating their suffering.
Babban matsalar mu dukkan wani abu da ake a garin nan wannan hanyar bypass nan shine asalin abun da ya kamata an mana daga farko amma ba mu same shi ba. Wannan hanyar ba karamin asara ake ba.
This bypass road is one of our major concerns, which deserve immediate intervention by government, because we have suffered more than enough. Properties and lives were lost due to the poor condition of this road.
Wannan tana buƙatar taimako, kamata a ce ba wai he gwamnati ba ko 'yan kasuwa ma su duba su gyara hanyar nan, saboda ana shan wahala. Ni ma da nan na kusa faɗuwa nan yasa an ce zan tsaya magana.
We have suffered more than enough. This road is one of the busiest roads in Jamaica, but as you can see, the condition of the road is appealing. Motorists are not finding it easy. We need government to intervene.
Although the extent of damage caused by the recently ended flood is enormous on the Nigerian roads, Trust TV visited FEMA Adamawa Field Office to hear from the authority.
Other locations include Mawe Belwa, Ganye Tongo Road. We have two locations. We have Chinese 76 plus 634. We have a washout there on a culvert location. That one too was caused by the flooding, which we have raised proposal and waiting for approval as well in this 2022. As I'm talking to you now, we have started working on our 2022 budgetary allocations, like Yola Numan Road. We have started work already. We are working along Gombe Garikida. We have some other projects within township of Gombe Estate, which we are starting by next week.
Road users and indeed other stakeholders are hopeful that the necessary intervention will be given to the roads to ensure ease of moving goods and people from place to place. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
You're still watching news on Trust Television. I'll see you on the other side of the break. Do stay.
That's great.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Moving on, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has taken President Muhammadu Buhari's government to the ECOWAS Court of Justice over illegal pipelines and oil theft. SERAP, in a statement on Sunday, said it filed a lawsuit against the current administration over the failure to probe the operations of illegal oil pipelines between 2001 and 2022, to name and prosecute those suspected to be involved and to recover proceeds of crime. SERAP Deputy Director Kolaolu Oluwadare said the suit was filed by the group Eric Doe, who is suing for himself as a leader of the GOI community in Kogana local government area of Rivers State, and on behalf of the GOI community and 15 other concerned Nigerians. According to him, the suit followed recent reports of the discovery of at least 58 illegal oil pipelines used to steal the country's oil wealth. The statement further said the illegal pipelines have been operated for many years without notice, implying a flagrant violation of international human rights obligations to ensure the proper, effective and efficient management of the country's wealth and natural resources. No date has been fixed for the hearing of the suit. And on the foreign scene, Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has extended a quarantine placed on 2 districts that are the epicenter of the country's Ebola outbreak by 21 days, adding that his government's response to the disease was succeeding. Movement in and out of Mubende and Kasanda districts in central Uganda will be restricted up to December 17th. It was originally imposed for 21 days on October 15th, then extended for the same period on November 5th. The East African nation has so far recorded 141 infections. 55 people have died since the outbreak of the deadly hemorrhagic fever was declared on September 20th. The Ebola virus circulating in Uganda is the Sudan strain, for which there is no proven vaccine, unlike the more common Zaire strain which spread during recent outbreaks in the neighboring Democratic Republic of the Congo. Equatorial Guinea's President Teodoro Obiang Nguema and his son Vice President Teodoro Nguema Obiang Mark have clinched re-election with 95% of the November 20th polls, extending his 47-year rule and cementing his place as the world's longest-serving ruler. Obiang's ruling Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea won all 55 Senate and 100 Parliament seats. With his landslide victory, the president will go on to appoint the remaining 15 Senate seats. The West African country, with about 1.5 million people, has had only 2 presidents since independence from Spain in 1968. Obiang ousted his uncle Francisco Macias Nguema in a coup in 1979. Obiang has always won with over 90% of the vote in polls that international observers have questioned. Pundits say Obiang has rigged elections and done little to take the country out of poverty, in spite of its wealth in oil and gas. With protests mostly forbidding, media heavily controlled, and political opponents are often arrested and tortured, civil liberties organizations accuse him of suppressing dissent and opposition. Moving on, the death toll from an earthquake that hit Indonesia's island of Java this week has risen to 321 as rescuers found more bodies on Sunday, the National Disaster Mitigation Agency said. Now, the shallow 5.6 magnitude earthquake hit the West Java town of Cianjur on Monday, where most of the victims were killed as buildings collapsed on landslides were triggered. Disaster Mitigation Agency Chief Suharyanto, who like many Indonesians uses only one name, told a news briefing Sunday that rescuers found 3 more bodies. 8 were found on Saturday. Now, rescuers resumed their search on Monday, focusing on areas where the missing are believed to have been buried, said West Java Search and Rescue Agency head Jomario, who also uses one name. The quake damaged more than 62,000 houses and forced more than 73,000 people to evacuate to at least 325 shelters, Suharyanto said. Now, disaster agency spokesperson Abdul Mohari said authorities were set to discuss next week whether to extend an emergency response period beyond its initial 14 days. Indonesia experiences frequent seismic and volcanic activity due to its position on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where tectonic plates collide. Now, in the Kenyan region of Laikipia, a group of small-scale African farmers is leveraging smart farming technologies to beat challenging weather patterns. Take a look. Okay, now let's take a look at sports. Let's take a look at the updates coming up at Qatar World Cup 2022.
And in sport news tonight, Croatia overcame a spirited Canada on Sunday evening to register an impressive 4-1 victory, sending themselves top of Group F and eliminating the North American underdogs from the World Cup. The 2018 runner-up had fallen behind after 68 seconds at the Khalifa International Stadium when the scintillating Alphonso Davies thumped a header into the net. Despite the early setback, Croatia soon asserted themselves on the match, with Chelsea midfielder Mateo pulling the strings in the midfield. In the 36th minute, they drew level when Ivan Perisic, a growing influence on the left wing, slid the ball through to Andrej Kramaric, who shot first time into the far corner of the goal. Croatia were buoyant and took the lead 8 minutes later when a lovely build-up from the back ended with Marko Livaja firing a right-footed low into the net from the edge of the area after being fed by Kovacic. And in a match between Morocco and Belgium, Abdelhamid Sabri and Zakaria Abdelkhal earned Morocco their first World Cup victory in 24 years as they upset a hugely disappointed Belgium side 2-0 in World Cup Group F on Sunday. The Morocco fans gave the match a vintage World Cup feel in a boiling atmosphere at the Al Sumama Stadium as Sabri called a wild free kick pass Thibaut Courtois before Abdelkhal netted in stoppage time to put Morocco top of Group F with 4 points, one ahead of Belgium. It was Morocco's first win at the World Cup since they beat Scotland in 1998. They left the 2018 tournament with a single point. Belgium, who had scrapped a 1-0 win over Canada in their opening game, again looked a pale shadow of the team who finished third in 2018 and climbed to second in the world rankings. They must now battle for last 16 spots against Croatia. And in a match between Costa Rica and Japan, Costa Rica stunned Japan 1-0 thanks to a late goal at the World Cup on Sunday to blow Group E wide open and hand a potential lifeline to Germany. Japan, who shocked 4-time champions Germany 2-1 in their opener in Qatar, could have taken a giant stride towards the last 16 with a win. The result left Spain, Japan and Costa Rica all on 3 points. Japan made 5 changes to the team, which shocked Germany in their opening match as their coach made full use of his 26-man squad. And that was Sport News. I am Martia Umar.
Well, before we go, let's take a look at this feature. In the Kenya region of Laikipia, a group of small-scale African farmers are leveraging smart farming technologies to beat changing weather patterns. Take a look.
The project is important because before this project was installed here, the farmers used to farm using furrow irrigation. Mostly they used a lot of water, but as per now, they are able to use very minimal water, and meaning they will be able to sustain the water that is in the dam, and it will be used by most of the community.
Through the use of the components of water harvesting, we harvest the water during the rainy season and store it in our dams so that during the dry spell we can supply it to the crops.
Ngoragwo ndĩ ndereba rĩu rĩrĩa tũrenjeirwo ndemu rĩ ndĩrona rĩu ndigũthiĩ gwethera mbeca kũraihu ndĩrauga ngũciethera kũ nĩguo ndĩreciririe hande mboga nĩgetha nyambe nyone tĩri ũcio wa gũitĩrwo ndemu ũrĩa ũkũbehave rĩu ndĩrenda ona mboga ĩno ĩkiuma rĩ njite nyanya
wahingũrĩra harĩa maĩ tuone ũrĩa maitĩkaga gũkũ rĩu
icio nĩ tũrenda rĩu tũhande kũrĩa
cininĩte thikũ ici nĩ yanyu.
In case I need to make clarification, I just talk to you.
This project being a climate smart agriculture project, it involves the use of the green energy or solar energy to pump the water from the dam and then put it into the water storage tanks. From the water storage tanks, now the water can flow by gravity to the farms or to the fields where the irrigation is being done. Since the type of the irrigation we are undertaking is drip irrigation, the water can go through the piped system and it gets to the crop very efficiently. And we use also very little water compared to initially when the farmers were using flood irrigation.
And that's it on News Hour. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Do have a good night.